January 1930, a month that quietly ushered in some of the most memorable names of Hollywood, wrestling rings, animation studios, and beyond. Today, we look back at those born in that month, their lives, their art, and their legacies.
Born Orison Whipple Hungerford Jr. on New Year's Day 1930 in New York City, Ty Hardin was raised on a Texas farm by his grandparents. After serving in the Korean War and playing football at Texas A&M, he worked at Douglas Aircraft in Santa Monica before a Paramount Pictures talent scout discovered him at a costume party dressed as a cowboy. Warner Brothers gave Hardin his own series, Bronco, which ran from 1958 to 1962 and made him a household name. He appeared in notable films including PT-109 in 1963 and Battle of the Bulge in 1965. After his Warner Brothers contract expired, Hardin worked in European productions and westerns, including Berserk in 1967 with Joan Crawford. Hardin passed away on August 3, 2017, in Huntington Beach, California, at the age of 87, after a period of declining health. For many fans, he embodied the rugged, stoic hero of the TV Western era, a symbol of a time when the frontier spirit ruled television screens. Decades later, his name still brings to mind the golden age of Westerns. Robert Loggia, born January 3, 1930, on Staten Island, New York, studied journalism at the University of Missouri before serving in the U.S. Army. His path eventually led to the stage, where he discovered a lifelong passion for performance that would carry him to film and television. Across a career spanning more than 6 decades, Loggia became one of Hollywood's most respected character actors, known for his unmistakable presence and emotional depth. He moved effortlessly between roles, from formidable villains to tender, vulnerable souls, leaving an imprint that few could match. Among his most memorable performances were Jagged in 1985, which earned him an Academy Award nomination, The Beloved Big in 1988, for which he received a Saturn Award, and the crime epic Scarface in 1983. Each role carried his signature blend of strength, humanity, and quiet intensity. In his later years, as Alzheimer's disease began to take its toll, he gradually stepped back from the spotlight. When he passed away on December 4, 2015, at age 85, it marked the end of a remarkable journey, a life defined by artistry, grace, and an unwavering devotion to his craft. Frederick Wiseman, born on January 1, 1930, in Boston, began his professional life in law, studying at Yale and even teaching briefly before finding his true calling in film. In the 1960s, he turned his attention to documentary filmmaking, pioneering a style often described as direct cinema, a meticulous, observational approach that allows real life to unfold without narration, interviews, or overt commentary. His first feature, Titicut Follies, in 1967, offered an unflinching look inside a Massachusetts institution for the criminally insane. The film's stark honesty sparked controversy and censorship, but also announced the arrival of a bold, uncompromising voice in American cinema. Over the following decades, Wiseman created more than 40 documentaries, examining the structures and rhythms of modern life, from schools and hospitals to libraries, city halls, and ballet companies. Each work served as both mirror and record, capturing humanity in its quietest and most revealing moments. Today, Frederick Wiseman is regarded as one of the great chroniclers of contemporary society, a master of nonfiction cinema whose patient observation and moral clarity have shaped generations of filmmakers and deepened the art of documentary itself. Charles J. Kalani Jr.,
known to audiences around the world as Professor Toru Tanaka, was born in Honolulu, Hawaii on January 6, 1930. Trained in judo and jiu-jitsu from an early age, he later served in the U.S. Army, earning the rank of sergeant before turning his discipline and physical prowess toward a new arena: professional wrestling. Debuting in 1958, Kalani soon gained fame under his ring name as a fearsome competitor in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Teaming with Mr. Fuji, he captured multiple World Tag Team Championships, becoming one of the era's most recognizable wrestling figures. A master of both power and showmanship. His talents reached far beyond the ring. Transitioning into acting, he brought his commanding presence to film and television, most memorably as Sub-Zero in The Running Man in 1987, and in appearances in The Perfect Weapon, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and The Last Action Hero. His larger-than-life persona translated seamlessly to the screen, captivating audiences well beyond wrestling fans. When heart failure claimed his life on August 22, 2000, the world lost a rare figure who bridged disciplines: martial artist, soldier, wrestler, and actor. Each identity shaped by his strength, discipline, and charisma. Vic Tayback, born in Brooklyn, New York on January 6, 1930, embodied the kind of grounded, relatable presence that became a cornerstone of American television in the 1970s. After serving in the U.S. Navy and working his way through a series of television and film roles, Tayback found his defining character in Mel Sharples, the gruff but big-hearted diner owner in the hit sitcom Alice, 1976 to 1985. As Mel, Tayback brought humor, warmth, and authenticity to every scene, turning a simple roadside diner into one of television's most familiar gathering places. His portrayal earned him 2 Golden Globe Awards and a Primetime Emmy nomination, firmly establishing him as one of TV's most endearing character actors. Beyond his awards, Tayback's performance resonated because it felt real, a tribute to working-class resilience and decency. Through Mel Sharples, he gave audiences not just a laugh, but a reflection of everyday compassion and humanity. When a heart attack claimed his life on May 25, 1990, television lost a sincere and steady talent whose screen presence could make viewers feel at home. Decades later, Mel Sharples, and Vic Tayback behind him, remain fondly remembered as part of the golden age of American sitcoms. Roy E. Disney, born in Los Angeles on January 10, 1930, was part of one of America's most storied creative families, yet his legacy was distinctly his own. The nephew of Walt Disney and son of company co-founder Roy O. Disney, he carried forward the family name as a steward of imagination. After joining the Walt Disney Company, Roy became one of its most influential figures, serving as a senior executive and later as vice chairman. His leadership and keen artistic sensibility helped guide the company through one of its most transformative periods, the Disney Renaissance of the late 1980s and 1990s. During this era, films like The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King renewed the studio's creative spirit and defined a generation of animation. Roy's advocacy for storytelling and artistic freedom made him a beloved presence among animators and filmmakers alike. In recognition of his contributions, Disney's animation headquarters in Burbank was renamed the Roy E. Disney Animation Building, a lasting tribute to his creative influence. When he passed on December 16, 2009, it marked not only the end of an era, but the closing chapter of the Disney family's direct involvement in the studio's day-to-day life. Roy E. Disney is remembered as a dedicated steward of his uncle's legacy, a passionate advocate for creative excellence,
and a steadfast believer in animation's transformative potential. Rod Taylor, born on January 11, 1930, was one of Hollywood's most versatile and magnetic leading men of the 1960s. He brought rugged charm and emotional depth to every role. Born Rodney Sturt Taylor in Sydney, Australia in 1930, he moved to Hollywood in the mid-1950s. His breakthrough came with the science fiction classic The Time Machine in 1960, followed by standout roles in The VIPs in 1963 opposite Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, and the western The Train Robbers in 1973 with John Wayne. In Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds in 1963, Taylor starred opposite Tippi Hedren as Mitch Brenner, creating one of the most enduring pairings in thriller history. The two actors, born just 10 days apart in January 1930, became forever linked through that iconic film. Over a career spanning more than 50 films, Taylor embodied old-school Hollywood toughness, laced with sincerity and warmth. He continued acting well into later life. Rod Taylor passed away of a heart attack in Los Angeles on January 7, 2015, just 4 days before what would have been his 85th birthday. His films showcases a career of remarkable versatility, seamlessly combining physical action, romantic magnetism, and authentic, naturalistic acting. Tippi Hedren, born Natalie K. Hedren in Minnesota on January 19, 1930, began her career not as an actress, but as a model, gracing magazine covers and television commercials. Her life changed dramatically in the early 1960s when Alfred Hitchcock discovered her in a TV ad and cast her in his thriller The Birds in 1963. The film made her one of Hitchcock's most unforgettable leading ladies, and she followed it with another haunting performance in Marnie in 1964. Across a career spanning more than 80 films and television appearances, Hedren displayed remarkable resilience and artistry, carving out a professional identity that reached far beyond her early fame. In 1972, she founded Shambhala Preserve, a sanctuary for big cats and endangered wildlife near Los Angeles. There, she devoted herself to animal welfare, creating a refuge that has educated the public and protected countless animals from exploitation. Today, Tippi Hedren's legacy lives on in two worlds: the silver screen as an icon of classic film, and the natural world as a voice for compassion and conservation. Her story stands as proof that fame can evolve into purpose, and that true beauty lies in empathy and courage. Terence Baylor was born on January 24, 1930. From Wanganui, New Zealand, he began his acting journey in the early 1950s. After training at London's Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, he built a steady 6-decade career across stage, film, and television, marked by quiet excellence and versatility. Baylor became a familiar presence to audiences worldwide. He appeared in the cult classic Monty Python's Life of Brian in 1979, the beloved Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 2001, and countless British television productions. His career also encompassed early New Zealand cinema, acclaimed British theatre, and cult favorites like Time Bandits in 1981 and Brazil in 1985. When he passed away on August 2, 2016, it marked the close of a remarkable yet modest career, one defined not by fame, but by dedication. Terence Baylor exemplified the artistry of the true character actor: steady, skillful, and indispensable. Eugene Allen Hackman, born January 30, 1930, in San Bernardino, California, was considered one of the greatest actors of his generation and a paragon of the new Hollywood movement.
After his father abandoned the family when he was 13, Hackman left home at 16 to join the Marines, where he spent 4 years learning discipline that would later serve his craft. Following his discharge, he worked menial jobs before studying journalism and television production on the GI Bill at the University of Illinois, eventually enrolling at the Pasadena Playhouse in his 30s. Legend has it that Hackman and classmate Dustin Hoffman were voted least likely to succeed, a prediction that proved spectacularly wrong. Hackman won 2 Academy Awards: Best Actor for his iconic portrayal of Detective Jimmy Popeye Doyle in The French Connection in 1971, and Best Supporting Actor as the ruthless Sheriff Little Bill Daggett in Unforgiven in 1992. His career spanned over 4 decades and 80 films, including unforgettable performances in Bonnie and Clyde in 1967, The Conversation in 1974, Hoosiers in 1986, Mississippi Burning in 1988, and The Royal Tenenbaums in 2001. Whether playing comedy, villainy as Lex Luthor in Superman in 1978, or morally complex characters, Hackman brought unmatched versatility to every role. Often called the actor's actor, Hackman was praised by peers like Kevin Costner as the best actor they'd ever worked with, while Clint Eastwood said, "There was no finer actor than Gene, intense and instinctive, never a false note." He retired from acting in 2004 at age 74 after Welcome to Mooseport, citing heart health concerns, and spent his remaining years writing historical novels, painting, and enjoying a quiet life in Santa Fe with his wife, pianist Betsy Arakawa. Gene Hackman passed away on February 18, 2025, at age 95, leaving behind a legacy of raw, honest performances that redefined American cinema and continue to inspire actors worldwide. January 1930 gave us an incredible group of talent whose work still resonates today. Which name on this list brings back your strongest memories? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through history, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching.